Samara, Samara. What a journey you've been on, crawling out of wells, haunting people through VHS tapes. Very retro, by the way. But let's be real, your tactics? A little outdated. You know, I'm all for a dramatic entrance, believe me. I've had a few of my own. But girl, you're terrifying people to death. Literally. And I think it's time for a career change. Listen, I know you've had it rough, abandoned, misunderstood, cursed. I get it. Heck, I was crucified, so I know a thing or two about bad days. But you, stuck in that well, showing up all creepy with the hair in the face, look, it's just not working for you anymore. I mean, you're scaring kids, traumatizing families. You're a walking horror film. But here's the thing, Samara. You've got potential, serious potential, and it's going to waste. You see, when I was on Earth, I didn't just spread fear, nope. I spread hope, love, forgiveness. You know, the good stuff. You've been stuck in this loop of revenge and terror, but imagine what you could do if you spread a little light instead of gloom. I'm telling you, the revenge from beyond the grave gig, it's been done. Trust me, the whole world could use less terror and more kindness right now. I mean, you're out here chasing people down like 7 days until you die. What if you gave people 7 days to live their best lives instead? Think about that. Remember what I said. Love your enemies. That's a tough one, I know. But Samara, your enemies right now are just random TV watchers. They're not even your enemies, girl. Half of them probably don't even know who you are. You need to direct that energy towards something more meaningful. And don't get me wrong, showing up out of the TV screen like you do, that's a cool trick. But why not make an appearance and say something nice for once? Like, hey, I see you're having a rough day, and I've been through some stuff too, but here's a little advice. Maybe don't watch cursed videotapes and, oh yeah, try helping out your neighbor once in a while. Yeah, I know. Radical concept, right? But that's how we do it on the good side. We help people. We lift them up, not drag them down into some creepy well. Seriously, Samara, it's time to get out of that well. You've been down there long enough, and honestly, your whole vibe is very damp ghost chic, and it's not doing you any favors. What you need is a rebrand. Drop the whole death curse shtick and get yourself a new mission. Look, if I could take a few loaves of bread and feed 5,000 people, you can definitely turn this haunting thing around. You've got the power. You just need to use it for good. And don't even get me started on forgiveness. You're holding on to this grudge like it's your favorite horror movie plot. Let it go. Forgiveness is freedom, Samara. You don't need to haunt people to find peace. In fact, that's what's holding you back. You're trapped by your own anger, but forgiveness, that's how you set yourself free. Do you know what would really freak people out? You showing up, not trying to scare them. Picture this. You pop out of the TV, everyone's bracing for the worst, and then, boom, you help someone with their groceries, or give them advice on how to be a better person. Mind-blowing, right? Samara, the world has enough darkness. Trust me, I've seen it. But you have a chance to bring light into it. I mean, think about the impact you could have. People are already terrified of you. You've got their attention. Now imagine if instead of using fear, you used love. Start making the world a better place. Remember, blessed are the peacemakers, not the tape makers. You're in the wrong business, Samara. I'm telling you, there's a better way. So here's the deal. Leave the well. Let go of the tape. Join me on the side of good and use your power to change lives for the better. You've already got the dramatic entrances down. Now let's work on the message. You've got this, Samara. You were meant for more than terror. You were meant for transformation. I believe in you. And hey, if I can forgive those who crucified me, I'm pretty sure you can forgive those VHS tape victims. Let's turn this around. Together. Now go out there and show the world what a good helping spirit can really do. All right, Samara, we're on the right track, but there's still a lot we need to cover here. Let's talk about your social skills. No offense, but your approach is a bit, how do I put this delicately, intense. You can't just crawl out of wells all spooky-like and expect people to stick around for a heart-to-heart. You're creeping folks out faster than they can say, "Be not afraid." And well, you know how much I love saying that. Look, back in my day, I didn't go around scaring people into following me. Did I walk on water? Sure. Did I calm storms? You bet. But the key was connection. You've got to reach people where they are, not scare them half to death before you even say hello. Now I get it. You've been dealt a bad hand. Cursed from childhood, locked in a well. That's heavy stuff. But let me remind you, you're not defined by your past. I know what it's like to carry the weight of the world. Trust me on that one. But that doesn't mean you've got to stay stuck in a loop of revenge. Look at me. I got nailed to a cross, and yet here I am, full of forgiveness and grace, talking to you about turning things around. If I can do that, you can definitely rethink the whole VHS horror plot. Don't you think? By the way, I've got to ask, what's up with the hair? I know the whole wet, long hair in your face look is part of the scary ghost vibe. But have you ever thought about trying a new hairstyle? You're already doing a lot for the horror aesthetic, but maybe it's time for something more approachable. People are scared before they even see your face. Maybe a nice braid or a ponytail could change the energy. You'd be surprised how a little shift in presentation can make all the difference. And let's be honest, Samara, you're a bit of a workaholic. 7 days, that's your deadline. Talk about intense. Even I took the 7th day off after creating the universe. You've got to give yourself a break. You don't need to be popping out of TVs and climbing out of wells every single week. Maybe try something new, like helping people. Imagine, instead of showing up to announce someone's doom, you show up and say, "Hey, 7 days to improve your life. What can I do to help?" Now that's a concept. Imagine it. You give people a deadline, but for self-improvement. 7 days to spread kindness. 7 days to forgive that friend you've been mad at for no reason. 7 days to finally help your neighbor take out the trash. You could be the queen of redemption arcs. You know, Samara, I've always been about giving people second chances. When I said turn the other cheek, I wasn't just talking about letting go of grudges. I meant living in a way that defies the darkness, choosing to offer love when the world expects anger. You've been living in the shadows for too long. It's time to step into the light. And speaking of light, Samara, you need to work on your entrances. All this sudden, boom, here I am. Business? It's a bit much. What you want is an entrance that leaves people thinking, "Wow, I'm glad she showed up." Right now, they're just thinking, "Where's the nearest exit?" Trust me, I know a thing or two about dramatic entrances, resurrection, anyone. But even then, I kept it chill. When I came back, I wasn't jumping out from behind a tombstone yelling, "Surprise!" I simply showed up, offered peace and reassured people. You've got to ease in, maybe a smile, a little wave. It's all about how you make people feel. Samara, you've got power, real power. And with that, comes responsibility. Right now, you're using that power to scare people. But what if you used it to heal? What if instead of spreading fear, you spread hope? You've been so focused on making people pay for what's happened to you that you've forgotten. You don't have to be defined by your past. Let me tell you something important. Forgiveness isn't about letting people off the hook. It's about freeing yourself. Every time you climb out of that well to haunt someone, you're just dragging yourself deeper into the darkness. But when you forgive, you rise above it. You break the chains of bitterness. And trust me, that's a freedom you'll never find at the bottom of any well. And here's the best part. Once you forgive, you can help others do the same. You could be a force for good, Samara. Imagine showing up, and instead of cursing people, you offer them a chance to heal. You say, "I've been through darkness too, but I'm here to help you through it." That's the real power, Samara. Not the fear, not the dread. It's the ability to bring people out of their darkness into the light. And you're capable of that. You've been stuck in this loop of anger and vengeance for so long, but I see the potential for something greater. It's time to flip the script. Imagine being the hero of the story for once. No more crawling out of wells, no more haunting videotapes. Instead, you walk into someone's life and help them heal from the things that are haunting them. That's the real deal. And hey, if you're ever in doubt, just remember, I've got a pretty solid record with saving souls, so you're in good hands. 7 days to change your life, Samara. This time, for the better.